Hi viewers, welcome to Akshay Vlogs and Crafts. Let's see part 2 of this Mahan, Bodendira Saraswathi Swamihal. He is a great saint, a great Mahan who had lived and still lives, spreading the fragrance of the divine name throughout the world. Gnanasegaran was an expert in Jyotisha, astrology. From his astrological calculations based on the time of departure, he predicted that they wouldn't reach Varanasi together and that one of them would die on the way. The two young boys were grief stricken. Then and there they decided and took the vow that one who survived would, after the performance of last rites of the dead friend, proceed to Varanasi, have darshan of the Guru, and then give up his life by falling into the holy Ganga. Just as foreseen, Gnanasegaran passed away en route. Purushothaman reached Varanasi, had darshan of his Guru, and paid his respects. Narrating the story about his journey along with Gnanasegaran, their vow, and his friend's death, he said that he was going to jump into the Ganges and give up his life. His master stopped him and advised him that no one had the right to commit suicide. The earthly body is a gift of God, and we do not have any right to destroy it ourselves. By committing suicide, one suffers unsaid tortures after death. The Guru explained to Purushothaman in detail why he should not end his life, but Purushothaman insisted in falling into the holy Ganga and end his life as he had given his word to his friend. Then his Guru said, "You have been born in this world to liberate those millions of souls who are struggling in the ocean called samsara. Take up sannyasa. According to Shastras, taking up sannyasa is akin to taking a new birth. Thus, both your promise and my wish shall be fulfilled." Purushothaman agreed. The next morning, on the banks of Ganges, in the holy city of Varanasi, Purushothaman was accorded sannyasa. He was given the name Bagavan Bodendira Saraswathi. For a while, the Guru kept Sri Bodendira with himself and gave him mantropadesa. One day, the Guru called Sri Bodendira Saraswathi and asked him to go out to the world and spread the greatness of the divine name of God. He said, "The Vidwans are well learned and would question the statement that mere divine name can lead to liberation. You are to properly argue with them based on Shastras and establish the greatness of Bhagavan Nama." He instructed his disciple to go to Puri Kshetra and meet a Mahan by the name of Lakshmidhara Kavi in order to obtain the book Bhagavan Nama Kaumudi, which dealt with the greatness of Bhagavan Nama. The Guru asked him to write granthas based on this text. Adhering to his Guru's words, Bodendira Saraswathi set out to Puri. It was about midnight when he reached Lakshmidhara Kavi's home. Not willing to disturb the household at night, the ascetic rested in the pure outside the house. That night, a strange incident happened. A Brahmin, accompanied by a woman whose form and features resembled one of a lowly caste, knocked at the door of Sri Lakshmidhara Kavi. A young man came out of the house and inquired what they wanted. The visitor said that he had a doubt that he wanted clarified from Lakshmidhara Kavi. The young man said that he was Lakshmidhara Kavi's son, Jagannatha Kavi. He said that his father was out of town. However, he had taught him all the Shastras and that he could clarify the visitor's doubt. The Brahmin said, "I hail from South India. I went on a pilgrimage to the north and when I returned could not find my wife. It is just now that I found her. However, she has the form and features of one from a lowly caste. I wanted to know if I could lead a family life with this lady again." Jagannatha Kavi immediately said, "Tomorrow morning take her to the pond adjoining the Jagannatha temple. Dip her in the pond, chanting the Rama Nama 3 times. When she emerges, she will be purified and you can lead family life with her again. His mother, who peeped from the house, corrected him, saying that uttering Brahma Nama once would do. Sri Bodendra was taken aback witnessing this incident. He immediately introduced himself to them and requested them for a book and studied it thoroughly. The next morning, the whole city was gathered around the pond adjoining the temple. The Brahmin brought the lady and dipped her in the pond, chanting the Taraka mantra. To everyone's surprise, when the woman emerged out of the water, she had shed a current form and had exactly the same form and features when she lived with the Brahmin earlier, clearly illustrating the power of Ramanama. To prove that she had been purified by the Ramanama, Sri Bodendra Swamihal asked her to cook the meals of the day and he himself partook of it. Later, Sri Bodendra Saraswathi Swamihal returned to Kanchipuram and wrote 8 different texts that spoke about the greatness of Bagavan Nama. Bagavan Nama Rasodayam was the most important among them. He instated his successor to the Pitham and set out to live like a real ascetic, relinquishing all pomp and grandeur. Independent in his own way, he reached out to every nook and corner of Tamil Nadu and spread the glory of Taraka mantra. He initiated everyone who came to him with Ramanama, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion, and purified them. It would not be an exaggeration to say that there is virtually no place in Tamil Nadu where he has not set his foot. One day, Sri Bodendra Swamihal was camping in a village called Perambur in Nindamangalam, a place adjacent to Rajamannarkudi in Tamil Nadu. A couple came to have his darshan and invited him to their home for lunch. The Swamigal also agreed to come the next day. On the following day, Sri Bodendra Swamigal arrived at the couple's residence. He sat down to eat. A plantain leaf was laid and food was served. Just then he noticed a little boy in the house and asked him to sit down beside him and have his food too. In spite of his repeated requests, the little boy was unresponsive. The parents slowly explained to the Swamigal that the boy could neither hear nor speak. He was deaf and dumb by birth. Hearing this, tears rolled down Swamiji's eyes. He cried uncontrollably because just a while back he had made a proclamation in one of his works that one would escape the fear of death if he sings or hears the Taraka mantra, that is Taraka Nama, even once. He had thought that the Taraka Nama could spare none, as everyone would at least hear the divine name knowingly or unknowingly during their lifetime. He felt bad that for this little boy, because the little one could neither utter nor hear the Lord's name during his lifetime, and there was no way out for him. The devoted couple consoled the Swamigal. This is our karma, and we have accepted it. Swamigal should not shed tears on this account. Please do accept the bhiksha, food. At the tearful pleadings of the host, Sri Bodendra Swamigal had 3 handfuls of food and then took leave of them. The couple reverentially accompanied the Swamigal to the entrance of the village. Hungry that this boy was, he reached out to the leaf that Swamigal had eaten from and ate from the remnants. No sooner had he eaten the Uchishta from Sri Bodendra's leaf than he began singing the names of the Lord. When the parents returned to the house, they could not believe their eyes seeing their hitherto deaf and dumb child jumping in joy, crying out Bagavan Nama in Bhakti. Indeed, the Uchista of the great saint had performed this miracle. One evening, in the place called Govindapuram next to Thiruvidai Marudur, Sri Bodendira Saraswathi Swamihal sat on the banks of river Kaveri after his regular anushtanas. He watched the small kids playing and joined them. He asked them to bury him in the sand and said that he would come out of another place. Fascinated by this play, the kids wanted to do it again and again. This continued for some time. At one point, Swamigal was covered under the sand and he did not come out of the other end. The kids were panicked and called the elders nearby. The elders rushed in and decided to dig the ground in search of the Swami. Just then, a voice came from inside asking them not to do so, and the Swamigal had gone into Jiva Samadhi there and wished to be so forever. Even today, we have Bodendira Saraswathi Swamigal's Jiva Samadhi in Govindapuram, a place between Aduturai and Thiruvidai Marudur, next to Kumbakonam. It is said that Bodendira Swamigal lives there, chanting the Rama Nama all 24 hours and round the year. Devotees who go there and chant the Taraka mantra in his Samadhi can hear Rama Nama emanating from the Samadhi when they spend their night there. A few can even see the form of the Mahan in Danda and Kamandala circumambulating the Samadhi chanting the Rama Nama. Today, anyone going to Sri Bodendira Saraswathi Swamihal's Samadhi, Govindapuram, with problems and sufferings in their heart and pray with bhakti are ridden of their ills. That is the greatness of the Mahan who lived more than 300 years back and lives in the Samadhi even today. Bhagavan Nama Bodendira Sathguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Rama 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 Rama. Bye bye. Thank you.